Have you ever felt like we're living in a strange paradox? On one hand, we have more information at our fingertips than any generation in history. But on the other, we're also the most anxious. Let's dig into why that is and how it's quietly sabotaging our ability to build real wealth.
And when you look at the numbers, it's just staggering. Over 300 million people around the world are dealing with anxiety disorders. This isn't just some abstract statistic. It's become the constant, low-hum background noise of our modern lives.
And we're not just talking about feeling a little overwhelmed here. It's gotten so serious that the World Health Organization, the WHO, has officially recognized burnout as a workplace phenomenon. That just confirms the incredible mental strain so many of us are under every single day.
Now, this is where you can really see the disconnect. Our access to information, how to build a business, how to invest, you name it, has just exploded. But at the same time, our satisfaction with our income, it stayed flat. We know more than ever, but it's just not translating into feeling better off financially. So, this brings us to the absolute heart of the issue. Building wealth isn't a get-rich-quick thing, right? It's about long-term strategic thinking. So what on earth happens when a mind that's being pulled in a million directions at once tries to follow a long-term plan?
To find the answer, we're not going to look at some new productivity hack or the latest app. Nope, we're going way back to an ancient story from the Mahabharata that perfectly illustrates the state of mind we need to cultivate.
Okay, so picture this. A master archer, Dronacharya, is testing his students. He points them towards a small wooden bird sitting on a branch, way off in the distance. And as they each take aim, he asks them a very simple question. What do you see?
And the first few students give the kinds of answers you'd expect. I see the tree. I see the sky behind it. I see the branches. They see the whole picture. And doesn't that sound familiar? That's the modern mind. We see the notifications, the news alerts, the social media feeds. We see everything, and it's totally overwhelming.
But then Arjuna steps up, and his answer is just radically different. He says, I see only the eye of the bird. That's it. For him, in that one moment, nothing else existed. Not the tree, not the sky, just the target. It was that single-pointed focus that made him legendary.
And that right there is the whole game in our digital world. The people who are truly building significant, lasting wealth are the modern-day Arjunas. They have the ability to see their target and just tune out all the other noise. And this isn't about willpower. It's neurological. It's about how your brain is actually wired.
So let's get into the science of it. Why does that kind of focus feel so difficult, almost impossible for so many of us today? What's really going on inside our heads?
Well, there are three main things at play. First, every notification, every little ping gives you a tiny dopamine hit. This actually trains your brain to crave easy, instant rewards instead of the delayed gratification that comes from real, deep work. Second, chronic stress floods our system with cortisol, which literally makes us less creative and flexible thinkers. And third, all this just exhausts our prefrontal cortex. That's the CEO of our brain, in charge of planning and decision-making, making it way less efficient. But here's the crucial part, the reason for real hope, and it's all backed by science. It's this incredible concept called neuroplasticity. It means our brains aren't fixed. They have this amazing ability to rewire themselves based on what we do. So a distracted mind isn't a life sentence. It just means we have some training to do. Okay, so how do we actually do it? How do we start that training? Let's walk through a 5-step mental path you can start using today. First up, we're putting the Arjuna principle into practice. This means carving out 60 to 90-minute blocks of time for deep work. That means no phone, no email tabs open, no multitasking, just you and one important task. This is like going to the gym for your prefrontal cortex. It literally builds the muscle of concentration. Step 2 is what I call dopamine discipline. You have to consciously limit the easy, high-stimulation stuff, like mindlessly scrolling through social media. When you cut back on those cheap dopamine hits, you essentially reset your brain's reward system, which makes you far more motivated to tackle those bigger long-term goals. All right, step 3 is about emotional regulation. And look, this doesn't have to be complicated. Just 10 minutes a day, maybe some simple breath work or meditation, is enough to lower those damaging cortisol levels. A calm nervous system isn't some luxury. It's a strategic advantage that lets you think clearly and make way better financial decisions. Step 4 is a huge mental shift, and it is so powerful. Detachment from the outcome.
This means you put all of your focus on the process, on the quality and consistency of your actions, and you let go of the need for immediate results. Just build the asset, write the code, make the call. Forget about instant validation. Trust me, consistency always beats short-term intensity.
And finally, step 5. This is what ties it all together and turns knowing into doing. It's the execution loop. At the end of every week, you just sit down and ask yourself 3 simple questions. 1, what did I actually build or create? 2, what did I do to monetize my work? And 3, what were the main things that distracted me? This simple review is how you build a real, unstoppable momentum.
Now, when you start putting all these pieces together, you begin to realize something pretty profound. In an age of AI and automation and endless new tools, your greatest asset, your biggest competitive advantage, it isn't the technology, it's the quality of your own mind.
I really want you to let this sink in for a second. Your wealth ceiling has very little to do with your IQ or how much information you can consume. It's set by your ability to focus, to control your emotions, and to consistently execute. It's defined by how well you've trained your mind.
Look, if this has shifted your perspective at all on the connection between your mind and your money, then hit that subscribe button. We go deep on mind management and the psychology of execution all the time. Our goal is to help you build not just a bigger bank account, but a more focused and fulfilling life.
And before you go, I want to leave you with a question. And I want you to be really honest with yourself. What is the single biggest distraction that's holding you back from your financial goals right now? Is it social media? Is it overthinking, comparing yourself to others? Drop your answer in the comments below, because just naming it, that's the first step to conquering it.